Richard is long for Dick. If Wesley's the long name for Wes, and Nick is the long name for Nick, the problem you see that makes no sense to me is why Richard's the long name for Dick. The legend began long ago when Richard was king of the land. Although he could lead, all the people agreed that he was an unfriendly man. One day when the king came to town, a child ran up to say, "Hey." "Well, hay's for my horse, you should know that, of course. Now I'll smell you later. Good day." Then later they brought him a thief who'd taken a toy from a kid. "Have mercy on me," the man begged on his knees. "Let's not, and then say that we did." The people grew mad at the king, and one of them yelled the word, "Dick." What did he just say? The peasants were all very shocked, and one said, "Explain yourself, Nick." "It's not a bad word," he said. "Haven't you heard that Richard's the long name for Dick?" They all agreed that the name fit. It spread through the village real quick, and then pretty soon nearly everyone knew that Richard's the long name for Dick. The king did not like this at all. He wrote an official decree. "You may call me Rick, but if you call me Dick, then you can just pack up and leave." So everyone boarded a ship and filled it with all of their things. Then they sailed away so they don't have to stay where any old Dick can be king. Brenda's beaver needs a barber. Brenda has a beaver, and she's ready to confess. As soft and sweet as it may be, her beaver is a mess. Brenda's beaver's big. Brenda's beaver's hairy. Every guy who's seen it says that Brenda's beaver's scary. Brenda took her beaver for a swim down at the lake. By the looks that she received, she figured that was a mistake. She stuffed that furry mound into a swimming suit. It stuck out all around. It was anything but cute. Some who saw it laughed. Others were just stunned. Brenda's beaver was hanging out, soaking up the sun. Her friends could not believe her. They said, "We need to talk." They covered up her beaver and they took her for a walk. "Brenda dear, listen here. We want to help you out. Your beaver needs a makeover. It really needs it now." "I hope we don't seem pushy," said her biker friend named Kim. "Your beaver is too bushy. We just think it needs a trim." Savannah pulled her beaver back to show off what she'd done. "Hers has a nice long landing patch. It looks like it'd be fun." "Grissy's beaver is quite rare. It could be worth $1 million. Hers is bare. It has no hair. Her beaver is Brazilian." "Oh dear." Catherine let her beaver loose. She said, "There's nothing to it. Grab some clippers and a can of mousse. We'll show you how to do it." Kim produced some scissors, and Chrissy had some wax. Now all that Brenda had to do was sit back and relax. As they came towards her beaver, they said, "Now don't be scared. Oh, sorry. We're going to see what's underneath that frumpy pile of hair." It ended in just minutes. They didn't leave her much. When Brenda's friends were finished, she and her beaver blushed. Her beaver was so tiny they could not believe their eyes. It was smooth and it was shiny. It was hard to recognize. Now Brenda is so proud, it seems like every time we see her, she's in the center of her crowd, just showing off her beaver. Put Tony's nuts in your mouth. Tony has big nuts and small nuts. He has pecans and walnuts, nuts without or with a shell. There is no nut that Tony does not sell. Tony sells his nuts all day. He always has a line. Some say Tony's nuts smell great. Some say they taste divine. They drive or walk or ride the bus. They come from north and south to take those hot and salty nuts and put them in their mouths. Tony dips his chocolate nuts until they are just right. He knows your mom will take them home and suck on them tonight. BJ looks at Tony's nuts and tries hard not to stare as Stephen grabs at his nutsack and finds a big old pair. BJ plays with Tony's nuts in the closet at his house. Grandpa says he should just come out as he pops one in his mouth. Grandpa likes to go in there and take his camera with him. He loves to look at photographs when Tony's nuts are in them. He swears it isn't weird or queer. He says it's not a crime. Grandpa licks the salt right off of Tony's nuts sometime. The girls too like Tony's nuts. Of this there is no doubt. Every girl around this town has put them in her mouth. On the way to school today, riding on the bus, the Johnson twins were in the back, sharing Tony's nuts. Back and forth they open up, hoping that they don't get those big and tasty nuts stuck down in their throat. Even Mrs. Bulldyke, this awful coach, and her special friend will have a go at Tony's nuts every now and then. There really is no argument. Mount Rushmore ought to be a monument of Tony's nuts for all the world to see. Spank the monkey lends a hand. If you find yourself alone with much to think about, call Spank the monkey. He'll come by and help you work things out. Just the other day, while walking on the farm, Spank the monkey stopped to look in Farmer Johnson's barn. The air in there was warm. It smelled of salt and sweat and lotion. Way back in the corner was a constant, steady motion. The farmer's arm was moving fast. His hands, they looked so worn. Spank the monkey stepped right up and helped him shuck his corn. Spank likes to visit Grandpa, who loves his magazines. He has the first one and the last, and all the in-betweens. He flips right through the articles until his fingers blister. What he really likes to do is look at all the pictures. When Grandpa gets excited and messes up an issue, Spank is there to save the day with a box of tissue. Oh dear, I don't know if I can do these much more. Vinny has a job making sauce for pizza pies. As he cooks, he likes to watch the waitresses go by. Vinny grabs his hard salami and he hides it from the boss. Then he goes into the pantry to make some secret sauce. Vinny makes a lot of sauce. He whips it up by hand. Spank has seen the waitress. He can understand. Spank the monkey takes his car to the quick lube service station. They let him fill his jar up there when he's out of lubrication. From underneath a car on jacks came some grunting and a moan. That dirty old mechanic Max was down there all alone. Max's hands were greasy. His eyes were squinted shut. Spank was there to loop his tool and help him bust that nut. You may have heard it said that Spank only helps the guys. Please don't cloud your head with all those silly lies. Spank the monkey actually likes girls more than boys. Every girl that he knows has a nightstand full of toys. Sally plays the flute all day in the marching band. She knows that when the day is done, Spank will lend a hand. When Sally goes to bed at night, her face is all aglow, 'cause Spank the monkey's going to have a finger puppet show. As the satin curtains drop, she thinks, I'm a lucky girl. Spank opens with her favourite scene, polishing the pearl. Sally dims the lights and makes sure the door is locked. Then Spank the monkey orders her flute and puts it in her box. The end. Don't forget to like and subscribe and press the wee bell notification. And a huge big thank you to all my subscribers and patrons. See you next week. Bye bye.